Hello everyone and welcome to another 2-on-2 replay cast. This was played on March 26th of 2006 as part of the Transatlantic Showdown, in which two 2-on-2 teams from the clan-based Euro Cup and two 2-on-2 teams from the GGL Ameri Cup faced off against each other, and this was the first map of the grand final, which definitely came along with an interesting premise, since Team Meteor Makers had just recently beat Team 4 Kings, so Todd and Grubby, in the clan base Euro Cup and in the semi-final of this Transatlantic Showdown, after Team 4 Kings hadn't lost in like two Wc3 seasons. So it was up to Team Meteor Makers to really prove that they were becoming the best 2-on-2 team of the time, and they were facing off against Axslav and StrifeCro, from a nowadays perspective, iconic 2-on-2 team in Warcraft 3, but back then they had no reputation at all. Since RS failed to qualify for the Wc3L, there weren't really any replays of them out, and so it was really surprising that they just wrecked all the well-established American 2-on-2 teams in the GGL Ameri Cup, like the 2-on-2 teams of Verge and U5 and the Jungle team. So no one really knew what to expect of this grand final. So we are gonna see an Undead Night Elf against Orc Night Elf here on Wetlands. And on the left hand side in red is the team Meteor Makers, or actually Meteor Makers Handbit back then. I think they split from Handbit a couple of weeks after this tournament. In red, in the top left corner, Moon, the Night Elf player, starting with a Moonwell first. So we're not gonna see a fast altar from Moon. And in the bottom left corner, also in red, the Orc player, in this case not Undead, so not playing with his main race, Lucifer, also going for Burrow and Barracks first. So obviously Lucifer switching away from his main race to get the Night Elf Orc composition, which was considered the strongest back then. And there were obviously a couple of examples for this kind of race switch in other teams as well, such as Remind and Sochu, where Remind played Orc and Sochu played Elf. And later on at WMF with Moon and Soccer, where Soccer played Orc to get the Orc Night Elf composition. And well, in this case, Lucifer is playing Orc. He played Night Elf, he played Undead sometimes as well, together with Moon in the 2-on-2. And their opponents in the bottom right corner, StrifeCro, is going for a Night Elf first, and he is getting a late altar as well, and a Huntress build order. And his ally Axslav on the top right with Undead is getting a usual Fiend build order, as it seems. Just for a second built the wrong hero here. Getting the Death Knight first, and a rather early altar, so I'm assuming some feeding has been going on between the players in Team RS. And the Wisp has already scouted this late altar, as it appears Lucifer starts producing a Shadow Hunter here. Okay. And his grunt is already at the tavern, so Moon is going to be able to pick up his hero as well. Yeah, StrifeCro having a Wisp here, two Wisps actually at the tavern. And double Firelord for Team Meteor Makers. Detonate, maybe, yeah, Detonate. Hits the Firelord here, and Alchemist first for StrifeCro, so a really interesting setup hero-wise for this matchup. And I just quickly wanted to mention that already back then, Team RS was able to play several different racial compositions. I think even in this tournament they switched it up. So Death Knight is out, and actually quite a lot of units are approaching this top right corner here. Obviously they need to pressure the Undead base, because against the Night Elf the lava spawns would just be detonated really quickly. So the time in which the first two, or in this case 4 lava spawns are active, is gonna be the critical time for Team RS to pass. And yeah, the Alchemist is now coming in. second Agent of War coming for StrifeCro, so he's gonna rely on a lot of Huntresses early on. Nice round by Axslav securing the first kill on one of those lava spawns. Unfortunately for Lucifer, he has been the victim of a detonate, so his second... Oh, nice. So his second lava spawn would have been later, but now it's gonna be completely denied or even delayed further. Lucifer's not getting the block down against his alchemist, so that one is gonna survive for now. But with this wisp reinforcing and helping with the detonate, I feel like T.MHs has handled this early pressure really well so far. New skeletons even used by the Death Knight, and yeah, I don't really see Meteor Makers doing a huge lot of damage here anymore. Another first grunt is going down, another one has to be pulled back. The hunt here needs to hide, yeah, too late. So first hunt from StrifeCro going down as well. Obviously this alchemist is really risking a lot here, but there's not really a lot of damage output remaining for Team Meteor Makers at this point. Decent detonate by Moon here, who's also bringing in a wisp, getting a little bit of mana detonated from this Death Knight, as well as two newly spawned skeletons. Okay, 3 fiends are out, the Ribbon Tower is done, Fire Lords are both out of mana, so there's really no point in staying in here, as well as these 2 new hunts reinforcing obviously are also a huge help for T.MHs. Only this alchemist needs to take care, but as mentioned, damage output is really low for Team Meteor Makers, so they are heading back, just taking a quick look at the main bases. There's 2 additional acolytes for Axslav out. He's getting a Sacrificial Skull, and still tier 1 for both of the players from T.MHs, whereas Moon's going tier 2 already. He needs to produce the Huntress Hall right now if he wants to have it ready as soon as he hits tier 2. Lucifer also on his way to tier 2. But Team RS is heading towards the bottom left corner with everything. They've got 2 wisps, 2 acolytes coming. The Sacrificial Skull should still be on the Death Knight, as well as 5 charges of Rod of Necromancy. And Moon, with a very unfortunate timing, starts creeping here as the tower rush is obviously approaching. The Hunts and the Fiends have already arrived inside of Lucifer's main base. And this early aggression definitely did not win Team Meteor Makers enough time here to get anywhere close to establishing a really well fortified base here. And 2 Edge Protectors are already in production. First one has been cancelled. Detonate forced. But the ghouls even arriving before the archers here, so Firelord already taking a lot of damage, and these archers are in a bad position as they are gonna have to shoot up the choke, and they will miss a lot of shots if they wanna do some damage here against the Undead Night Death composition of T.MHs. The second Edge Protector here in the back is gonna be cancelled though. Moon maybe gonna lose his first archer here. Ziggurats are also in production already. Peons battling acolytes up here. The archers in a really bad position. Moon is right now hiding and using the TP. Either down here or up here somewhere. I'm assuming, okay, he's using it to the top just to be able to cancel these Ziggurats as quickly as possible. The Ancient Protectors newly in production. Actually, these grunts are in a pretty good position against the Fiends, but it seems like they are just not enough of them. 2 grunts have fallen, 1 Fiend is maybe gonna go down. Death Knight actually needs to take care. He needs to move the skeletons in order to get his Death Knight out of there alive, and this is gonna get pretty close. Soulburn used against this Death Knight, and another hit. Yeah, Axslav actually losing his Death Knight here, but at the same time, there's not really a lot left for Team Meteor Makers. I think Lucifer has pretty much lost everything. TC second out right now for him. At least the Ziggurats have been cancelled for now, but all of the archers are either dead or low HP, so he's not going to be able to really march out of this little choke. A really nicely placed acid bomb here kills one of the archers. Second one is going to fall as well, and these 2 Ancient Protectors are going to come up. Moon's Firelord is soon going to reach level 2 here, but I'm assuming that one alone isn't going to be enough to hold this tower push. So there's the level 2 for Moon's Firelord. The archer is going to fall as well as another archer. Yeah, so Moon is down to basically only his Firelord, and Lucifer, yeah, down to only this TC. I'm wondering where's Lucifer's Firelord. Yeah, he's just chasing down stuff in the middle of the map, which is of course nice since he gets some kills, but it's not gonna change the outcome of this tower rush. So Moon doesn't have a TP here, so he's in trouble, and the TC, he doesn't have a TP as well. So Moon's definitely gonna lose this Firelord. The TC might be able to march out of there. expansion already coming from Moon. Level 4 soon for the Alchemist, but yeah, he can win a little bit more time here for this expansion to be produced, but there's no way Lucifer and Moon are gonna be able to hold this expansion. Moon getting very aggressive with this Fire Lord, so this one is definitely going to fall. Actually denied here by the Burrow, so nicely done by either Lucifer or Moon. I'm not really sure who of them did it, but the TC gets out of there. The Fire Lord of Moon is denied, so no experience for the Alchemist, but that's not gonna change the fact that this base is lost. Lucifer is down to 20 supply. He's gonna lose 7 more PNs here, so he's gonna be down to 13 supply, which is 2 heroes and the 1 grunt here. Moon's expansion is about to come up. He's going tier 3. He's getting triple Ancient of Lore. Wow, how much resources does he have? A lot of resources, but I'm assuming that's because Lucifer has given him everything, because he hasn't been able to get anything except his heroes and grunts, so no tier 2 buildings whatsoever, no investments by Lucifer. That means yeah, a lot of resources available, which now are available to Moon. Tree of Life has finished, tier 2 tech started for Axslav, still tier 1 for StrifeCro, who's getting a glaive thrower here. Alright, so is he expecting like Ancient Protectors by Moon? I'm assuming they haven't scouted here in quite a while. Yeah, in a really long time. And Lucifer just quickly is creeping here. And Tinker second by Moon, not actually the hero you would expect in a situation like that. He's even going for cluster rockets, what the hell? Usually I would expect a Panda, maybe a Naga. But Tinker, yeah, definitely an unorthodox choice by Moon. And let's just see, tier 3 is about to be done, a couple of Dryades in production, so Team Meteor Makers is gonna have to hold out here until Master Bears are finished. If they finish them, I feel like they will have a really good shot at holding this expansion, but for now, that's quite a while to go. Fortunately, these movers are very far up front for Moon, so Team Meteor Makers is going to be able to use a lot of Moon Shoes. And yeah, the only way I really see Team RS trading efficiently here is if these Fiends get a really good angle against the Dryads, but except for that, the Dryads against the Hunts are going to do fine, the Lava Spawns are going to do fine. So I think Meteor Makers might just be able to hold this rather convincingly. Decent Shockwave here, of course level 2 Shockwave is gonna be a huge help here. Yeah, there is the Glaive Thrower, not really doing a lot, it's gonna be taken down really quickly. Moon has to micro these Dryads very carefully. Wow, marching into the middle of these Fiends. Now turning around, that's gonna cost him at least 1, maybe 2. Okay, actually only 1, but 2 of these Dryads are very low hit points right now, but with 4 heroes against 2 and Master Bears finished, Team Meteor Makers is definitely going to be able to hold this expansion, so Team RS is going to have to get away from there unless they want to lose all their Fiends, especially since the Death Knight is out of mana. He needs to be a little bit careful, but yeah, as just mentioned, there's no mana on the Death Knight, so there's no nuke. And it's pretty risky here, but the Tinker is gonna get out alive. Of course, Lucifer is gonna have to be really careful with his heroes. I think the Grunt has gone down, so he's only down to his heroes. If he loses one of them, there's no way he can get it back, and therefore, sniping Lucifer's heroes is definitely gonna be one option for Team RS. So expansion is up, Master Bears are done. They do have, well, they will have in just a second, 2 fully running gold mines against 2. I mean, he can just expand here either with the Acolyte or the Wisp. Okay, they decide to go for the Night Death expansion, which is obviously making more sense since the Tree of Life will be able to just produce Wisps here straight away without getting additional building. Right, so yeah, as mentioned, the Fire Lord of Lucifer is definitely a reasonable target, and he's gonna have to use either TP or the Staff of Teleportation. I'm assuming the Staff of Teleportation will be enough, or is he even gonna be able to run out of this?
We're under attack.
So anyway, at the moment, okay, that's nice by the TC. If he's able to cancel this and kill the Wisp, that's gonna be a huge delay because there is no Wisp anywhere nearby. So maybe they will build the Undead expansion there after all. Firelord is also coming in. So if Lucifer is able to kill both the workers here, that would be huge, and I'm assuming he is probably gonna be able to do so. So Wisp goes down, Ecolite goes down. Now he needs to staff really quickly, unless he wants to lose his TC. That would be pretty bad, but yeah, still a rather safe staff out of there. At the same time, Axslav has got a little bit overly excited here, and he's gonna have to fall back. He is on tier 2 right now. Lich is out, Slaughterhouse is coming. Yeah, since... Okay, tier 2 as well for StrifeCro. Since Meteor Makers is basically down to only Moon plus 2 heroes, time is definitely in the favor of Team RS. I mean, you could argue that Meteor Makers have the expansion in the middle, which is gonna run the longest. But there's still 4,000 gold inside these expansions, and this one is in production as well. So there's plenty of time for Team RS to just... Axslav again. Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't just want to camp inside your base without doing anything, but in this case it might just be the best choice. Yeah, with the 3 gold mines they will soon have, and the 2 races available to them, they should easily be able to get a sufficient counter up to Moon's heavily bear based army. So the pressure is on Meteor Makers to somehow make something happen, unless they want to face like bears, dryads, plus a bunch of destroyers, which would really crush their army. And also they have the worst late game heroes here. So yeah, I'm pretty curious how they're gonna approach this. Finally level 3 for this TC. Expansion this time is gonna come up, and once again Axslav moving out of his base. He might just be able to snipe this bear. There is no staff on Team Meteor Makers, but yeah, damage output is still not enough. Tier 3 about 2/3 done for Axslav. Fiend gets coiled. Last coil used for now, unless Axslav wants to use his greater mana potion. And StrifeCro in the meantime, actually he's still tier 2, he only has 1 Ancient of Lore, and he's investing heavily into these glaive throwers. So that's not really the strategy choice I expected here. It seems like he's not gonna try and help Axslav for now, who's just contained inside his main base. He's probably just gonna go for a snipe on the Tree of Life here. But the Ancient of War is in position, so Moon is gonna see this very early on. And it seems like now Team Meteor Makers is gonna push against Axslav's main base. It's 80 supply for Moon, plus 10 against 40 and 47, so fairly equal supply wise. I'm curious how much damage these glaive throwers are gonna be able to do. A snipe of this expansion, which would obviously be huge. A lot of rejuvenation used by Moon immediately. The Slaughterhouse is definitely gonna go down, and there is yeah, the snipe as expected. Double staff used by Lucifer. The Tree of Life has to uproot here. Mass repair going on. First shockwave going through these glaive throwers. In the meantime, Axslav is in a really unfortunate position. The Firelord is in trouble as well, and if this one goes down, that would be a huge deal. Axslav, oh wow, he's gonna lose his Death Knight and a couple of Fiends, as it seems. At the same time, this Firelord is probably gonna get away. The Tree of Life survived. TP out by Axslav to reposition, I'm assuming, yeah, down here where these Dryads are rather exposed, where the bears are in a completely horrible position. So Moon is gonna have to reposition himself. Alchemist is TPing out. It seems like all the glaive throwers have gone down. He's coming in there with 3 hunts, one Dryad and a level 5. Alchemist, Moon is probably gonna have to get out of there. There's no TP on Moon, my god, so this might be a tipping point in this fight. The Tinker is taking a bit of damage. First Bear's taking some damage. The Abomination is being coiled in time. The Tinker is gonna fall to this level 5 Alchemist, and so is the Firelord. So Moon losing both his heroes here in a heartbeat. At the same time, the Death Knight falling as well after throwing one last coil on one of the Fiends. So a lot of heroes have gone down here, but Moon is losing all of his bears. He's dropping down to 44 supply, to 40 supply. And the fact that he didn't have a town portal may have just cost him the game here. Meteor Makers will have to pull back. Level 4 on both of Lucifer's heroes. The Pitlord, the Cryptlord using his last Impale here. Invisibility potion kinda wasted. But that was a decent hold here by Team RS. And I'm not really sure who is really ahead in a straight up fight at this point. I mean, there's the Death Knight is down, which is horrible, and there's not that much stuff remaining. Wow, really cocky expansion here by Team Meteor Makers. And there's not really a lot of stuff remaining for Team RS. At the same time, Moon has lost both his heroes, but there's still this tech advantage for Team Meteor Makers. So actually, Team RS is getting aggressive here, as it seems, but I'm not really sure if that's the greatest choice. I feel like with this shop and the Moonwells, okay, they are empty right now. Meteor Makers is probably, yeah, with again 5 bears, Meteor Makers is probably gonna be able to hold this. So RS, they could maybe try and get another expansion, because I pointed it out earlier. They have the superior income for a little while. They have the 2 races, the 2 bases against only the 1, but their gold mines will run out sooner. 1,400 left in here, 400 left in here. Yeah, this one is gonna run for quite a long time. But this one has 11,000, so they might be able to secure another expansion right now. Is there like a wisp moving out or anything? There's one in production right now. Another abomination coming. At least they are creeping for now. Yeah, Firelord doing some scouting, but there's nothing he can do here. So Death Knight is gonna be back soon. Moon already has both his heroes back. So right now, definitely better, better armies, better fighting opportunities for Team Meteor Makers, and StrifeCro definitely does not want to get into a fight right now without the Death Knight and the entire Undead army to back him up. So this is a really horrible position for him. One Dryad is gonna fall, and he's actually deciding to TP. I think he may have gotten out of there with the auto TP. Maybe would have lost like one more Dryad. Oh, and there was a Wisp in position, so maybe they wanted to take this expansion, but yeah, with Meteor Makers already re-established their full army and their full 4 heroes, probably wouldn't have been the greatest choice anyway. So another push here by Meteor Makers. Obviously, they are at 70 plus 10, so about 80 supply against 50, and yeah, about 107 already. So they're already behind, and they're just gonna get further and further behind because Lucifer doesn't have any production left. So the pressure is on them, and they are again putting pressure on the Undead base. Both of the yellow players TPing in right now. Position-wise, let's see, the Bears not really in an awesome position. Lich very safe in the back. The Strides are very well covered by the Death Knight, Alchemist, Cryptlord, and the Hunt here. So the position seems very good for Team RS here in the beginning. Chemical Rage used by the Alchemist, and Moon immediately losing his level 4 Tinker here. Again, no TP on Moon, no TP on Lucifer as well. The Cryptlord surviving here with nothing thanks to a level up. There was a lot of damage output wasted against this Cryptlord, and therefore the fight looking pretty good so far for Team RS. The level 6 Alchemist just going for the Firelord here. That's Lucifer's Firelord actually, so Team Meteor Makers doesn't want to lose this one, but the Alchemist also has nothing left. Alchemist force level up for this Firelord 30, 11 hit points, 2 hit points, and he's just able to use the Moonwells here. So very crucial, also a very interesting decision here by StrifeCro. He would have been satisfied with sacrificing his level 6 Alchemist for this level 5 Firelord, which, or back then was level 4, which obviously wouldn't have come back because Lucifer, as already mentioned, has no production left, but it didn't work out for them. And yeah, therefore the Alchemist has to be rebought at the tavern. He's immediately heading back towards his Moonwells. And Moon, yeah, losing his Tinker here again. Obviously quite a setback, but right now Team RS is pushing. They are down to 1 mine, which is in the bottom left corner, and they have to break this sooner or later because their mine isn't gonna last forever. But there's a lot of Strides for StrifeCro available here, and it seems like they are gonna be able to snipe out Moon Strides rather easily. Lucifer here with TC and Firelord has to fall back to these Moonwells. There's still quite some Moon Shoes in there. Moon also having only his Firelord basically available right now, producing a couple more Dryads. Lucifer's heroes pulling back into Moon's base. Moon just drinking all the Moon Juice here. The Tree of Eternity and Ancient of War are going to be quite some help here, especially with this 7 armor, and actually the Lich is going down in the back. Wow, how did that happen? No mana on Axslav, even though he still has the greater mana potion. Heal potion now bought by Moon, and let's see if the cooldown is done, but stun lasts long enough from the impact, so Moon again losing both his heroes. Tinker is just back. The TC and Firelord have to head back into this main base, or at least close to this Moon base as it seems, and there's still plenty of stuff available for T.MHs. And it looks like they might just be able to break this expansion after all. Alchemist level 6 is taking some more damage. There's only 3 heroes left against the 1 Alchemist here and the 4 Dryads. In the meantime, the Undead army is finally taking out the Tree of Eternity. Tinker as well as Alchemist need to take care. Where's the TC? He headed down the choke, stunned by the Tinker and surround with the Wisps against the Alchemist, but there's barely any damage output left. The Tinker falls first, 60 hit points left on this Alchemist. The Firelord, does he get in range? It seems like he's not, but the TC is coming from the back. Alchemist is turning around, Firelord is going down, and there is using the Clarity Potion to get mana again, to use the Shockwave on this level 6 Alchemist, but he dodges and the TC is gonna fall, so everything down from Team Meteor Makers. T.MHs winning here in a very tense game. The strategy to begin with, definitely interesting by Meteor Makers, trying to win time here with a big push early on against the Undead main base. I think T.MHs reacted very nicely by adding 2 more ghouls to get 4 in total, and also bring the Wisp across the map to just help detonating, shutting the pressure down really early on. And then Meteor Makers really didn't have the time to establish their tier 2, to really prepare for the big push that was coming for them. Maybe they misread it as well, because Moon just started creeping there at the top with a very bad timing. And then after Lucifer lost his main base, a couple of very close moments with Lucifer's heroes, so this game could have ended a lot more quickly. At the same time, you have to really criticize Moon for not having a TP 2 times and losing a lot of bears against the Undead main base, just because he wasn't able to TP out in the end with a level 6 Alchemist with nice Undead army plus a lot of Dryads. RS were able to successfully get this counter push done, but once again only because Moon lost so many units at Axslav's main base. So this secured the 1-0 lead for T.MHs. Afterwards they still lost with 1-2, and Meteor Makers was able to win the Transatlantic Showdown. And that is it. Once again, I hope you enjoyed. Bye.